Models of teaching. Definitions of models of teaching. According to Joyce and Well, the definition highlights the role of teaching models in creating specific classroom environments. They emphasize how these models shape the interactions between students and the educational settings to achieve targeted behavioral changes. This approach focuses on the environmental and interactive context, meaning the teaching model influences how students experience and engage with learning. Teaching models are just instructional designs. They describe the process of specifying and producing particular environmental situations, which cause the students to interact in such a way that specific changes occur in this behavior. According to Paul D. Egan, D. Egan's definition, on the other hand, centers on teaching models are strategies that are designed to meet specific instructional goals. This perspective underscores the prescriptive nature of teaching models, meaning they provide a clear plan or set of guidelines for achieving desired instructional outcome. Models are prescriptive teaching strategies designed to accomplish particular instructional goal. In essence, Joyce and Wales' approach is more about the context and interaction within the learning environment, while D. Egan's approach focuses on the strategic implementation to reach educational objectives. ജോയ്സിൻ്റെയും വെയിലിൻ്റെയും സമീപനം പഠന പരിസ്ഥിതിയിലെ സന്ദർഭത്തെയും ഇടപെടലുകളെയും കുറിച്ചാണ്. അതേസമയം ഡി എഗന്റെ സമീപനം വിദ്യാഭ്യാസ ലക്ഷ്യങ്ങളിൽ എത്താനുള്ള തന്ത്രപരമായ നടപ്പാക്കലിൽ ശ്രദ്ധ കേന്ദ്രീകരിക്കുന്നു. According to Hyman, the model is a way to think about instruction in which certain facts may be organized, classified and interpreted. According to Hyman, a model of teaching is a conceptual framework for discussing and analyzing instructional practices. It serves as a method to organize, classify, and interpret various facts and aspects of teaching. This definition suggests that teaching models are tools for understanding and articulating the complexities of instruction. They provide a structured way to consider different elements of teaching and learning, helping educators make sense of how instructional practices can be applied or improved. ഹൈമാന്റെ അഭിപ്രായത്തിൽ അധ്യാപനത്തിൻ്റെ ഒരു മാതൃക പ്രബോധന രീതികൾ ചർച്ച ചെയ്യുന്നതിനും വിശകലനം ചെയ്യുന്നതിനുമുള്ള ഒരു ആശയപരമായ ചട്ടക്കൂടാണ്. അധ്യാപനത്തിൻ്റെ വിവിധ വസ്തുതകളും വശങ്ങളും സംഘടിപ്പിക്കാനും തരംതിരിക്കാനും വ്യാഖ്യാനിക്കാനുമുള്ള ഒരു രീതിയായി ഇത് പ്രവർത്തിക്കുന്നു. According to N.K. Jangira, a model of teaching is a set of interrelated components arranged in a sequence which provides guidelines to realize specific goals. Jangira's definition presents teaching model as structured framework composed of interrelated components. These components are arranged in a specific sequence to offer clear guidelines for achieving particular educational goals. This definition emphasizes the systematic nature of teaching models, indicating that they provide a step-by-step approach to reaching defined objectives. By outlining a sequence of components and their relationships, these models guide educators in designing and implementing effective teaching strategies to meet specific outcomes. Characteristics of teaching. These are teaching strategies. Models of teaching provide structured approaches or methods that educators use to deliver instruction. These strategies are designed to help teachers present content, engage students, and facilitate learning in an effective way. For example, a model might recommend using group discussion, problem-solving activities, or multimedia resources to enhance learning. These are sort of guidelines. Teaching model offer guidelines that help teachers plan and implement the instruction systematically. These guidelines include recommended practices and techniques that educators should follow to achieve specific learning outcome. They serve as a framework for organizing and delivering lesson in a coherent manner. These are prescriptive in nature. Teaching models are prescriptive meaning they provide specific recommendations or instruction on how teaching should be conducted. Unlike descriptive models that merely describe teaching practices, prescriptive models suggest particular methods, actions, or steps to follow to achieve desired educational goals. Scientific procedure. Many teaching models are based on scientific research and educational theories. They draw on findings from educational psychology, pedagogy, and cognitive science to inform their design. This ensures that the strategies and practices recommended by the model are grounded in evidence and are likely to be effective in promoting learning. Helps in realization of objectives. The primary purpose of teaching model is to assist educators in achieving educational objectives. By following the model, teachers can align their instructional methods with specific learning goals and ensure that their teaching practices are directed towards helping students meet those goals. Specific orientation. Teaching models provide detailed specifications on how to implement their teaching strategies. This includes the operational aspects such as the use of instructional materials, classroom activities, student interactions, and assessment methods. These specifications ensure that the model can be applied consistently and effectively in various educational settings. Based on some philosophy. Many teaching models are grounded in particular educational philosophies. For instance, some models may be based on constructivist philosophy, while others might reflect behaviorist or humanistic viewpoints. The underlying philosophy influences the model's approach to teaching and learning. Based on thinking. Models of teaching are often based on cognitive and pedagogical theories. They are designed considering how students think, learn, and process information, aiming to align teaching methods with cognitive processes. Specification of learning outcomes. These models include clear definitions of what students are expected to learn or achieve by the end of the instruction. They outline specific learning outcomes that guide both teaching and assessment. Use of interest. Effective teaching models often incorporate elements that align with students' interest and motivation. By engaging students with relevant and stimulating content, these models aim to enhance learning and retention. Specification of performance criteria. They define criteria for assessing student performance. This include establishing how students' understanding and skills will be evaluated, ensuring that assessment align with the learning objectives. Specification of learning procedure. Teaching models provide detailed procedures or steps to follow in delivering instruction. This include how to present material, interact with students, and structure classroom activities. Next, helps in realization of objectives. The ultimate purpose of teaching model is to help educators achieve educational objectives. By following the model, teachers can ensure that their instructional practices are aligned with their goals and effectively promote student learning. Specification of operation. Teaching models specify the operational aspects of instruction, including the use of materials, resources, and classroom management techniques. This helps teachers implement the model consistently and effectively in their teaching practice. Elements of teaching models. Focus. This defines the core objective or the main emphasis on teaching model. It clarifies what the model aims to achieve in terms of student learning and outcome. Syntax. This refers to the specific procedures and methods used within the model. It outlines how the teaching activities are organized and sequenced to facilitate learning. Principle of reaction. This element involves how the teacher responds to students' needs and behaviors. It includes feedback mechanism and adjustments made during instruction to support students' learning. Social system. Social system. This pertains to the classroom environment and the interaction between students and teachers. It includes the norms, roles, and relationships that impact how teaching and learning occur. Support system. This encompasses the resources and materials available to support the teaching process. It includes technological tools, textbooks, and other instructional materials that aid in delivering the curriculum effectively. Application explanation. This describes how the model is applied in practice. It involves demonstrating how the teaching model is implemented in real classroom settings, including any adaptations made to fit specific context. Understanding these elements help in evaluating and effectively implementing teaching models to enhance educational outcome. Elements. Four major components are included in all teaching models. Each of these components will vary with the models. The five major models are focus. This defines the central aim or purpose of the model. It determines what the teaching model aims to achieve and how it aligns with educational goals. Syntax. This refers to the structure or sequence of activities within the model. It outlines how the instructional procedures and tasks are organized and implemented. Social system. This component deals with the social interactions and roles within the classroom. It addresses how teacher-student and student-student relationship are managed and how they impact the learning environment. Principles of reaction. These are the guidelines for how teachers should respond to students' actions and needs. It includes strategies for providing feedback, managing behavior, and adjusting instruction based on student responses. Support system. This includes resources, materials, and external aids that support the implementation of the model. It encompasses tools, technology, and any other resources that facilitates the teaching process. Two effects can gain through the practice of a model. Instructional effect. This refers to the direct impact of the teaching model on student learning outcome. It encompasses how effectively the model helps students acquire knowledge, skills, and competencies. Nurturant effect. This effect focuses on the broader impact of the model on students' personal development and well-being. It includes fostering a positive learning environment, building student confidence, and supporting the emotional and social growth. Focus. Central aspect of the model. The focus is the core purpose or aim of teaching model. It defines what the model seeks to achieve in terms of educational objectives. This includes not only the specific goals of teaching but also how the environment such as classroom settings, resources, and overall learning atmosphere supports these goals. The focus ensures that all elements of the model align with its intended outcome. Syntax. Sequence of steps. Syntax pertains to the order and structure of instructional activities within the teaching model. It outlines a systematic sequence of steps that make up the entire teaching process. Different models may have varying phase or stages, but syntax ensures that there is a coherent and logical flow of how teaching and learning are organized. It provides a framework for implementing the model effectively. Social system. Relationships and roles. The social system component addresses the dynamics between the teacher and learners. It examines how these relationships influence the teaching and learning environment. Teacher-student interaction. How the teacher engages with students, provide guidance, and facilitates learning. Students' role. The role students play in their own learning, including their participation, collaboration, and interaction with peers. Classroom domain dynamics. the overall social environment, and how it supports or hinders learning. This includes managing group work, fostering a positive classroom culture, and handling interpersonal issues. Understanding these components helps in designing and implementing effective teaching models that cater to both educational objectives and the social dynamics of the classroom. Principles of reaction. Guidance for response. Teachers need clear guidance on how to respond to each student activity based on the chosen educational model. Example, constructivist direct instruction. This guidance ensures consistency and helps maintain the integrity of the model. Suiting characteristics of the model. The teacher's reactions should align with the characteristics of the model. For example, in a constructivist model, responses might focus on facilitating student exploration and discussion, while in a direct instruction model, feedback might be more directive and focused on correct answers. Support system. Additional requirement. Some models may require specific tools or resources beyond standard teaching skills. For instance, a model emphasizing technology integrating might require familiarity with digital tools and platforms. Facilities available in the classroom. The effectiveness of a teaching model often depends on available facilities like technology, seating arrangements, or resources. Knowing what facilities are available helps in tailoring the model to fit the classroom settings. Description of the support system. Advanced planning. Providing a detailed description of the support system helps teachers prepare and adapt the model effectively. It involves ensuring all necessary tools, resources, and technologies are in place and that teachers are trained or familiar with their use. Instructional effect. This is the overall impact of a lesson on students, including both the intended and unintended outcome. It encompasses the combined effect of direct and nurturant effect. Direct effects. These are the result of a lesson that are directly aligned with the teacher's objectives. They are the outcomes that the teacher purposefully designed a lesson to achieve. For example, if a lesson aims to teach a specific mathematical concept, the direct effect is how well students learn that concept. Nurturant effect. These are the indirect or byproduct effect of a lesson. They are not explicitly planned by the teacher but can emerge from the learning environment or teaching methods. For example, while a lesson focused on mathematical concepts might not explicitly aim to build teamwork skills, students might develop better collaboration abilities as a byproduct of working together on problems. Basic assumptions of models of teaching. Teaching is a means of generating environment of learning. Teaching models assume that effective teaching creates a conducive environment for learning. This environment includes physical, emotional, and psychological conditions that support student engagement and understanding. Next, content and skill function as instructional tool. In teaching models, both content, what is taught, and skill, how it is taught, are integral. They work together to facilitate interaction between the teacher and students, shaping how information is conveyed and absorbed. Different types of teaching objectives are achieved by organizing teaching elements in different ways. Teaching models acknowledge that various educational goals can be met by organizing instructional elements differently. For instance, some models might focus on direct instruction and structured activities for clear, specific objectives, while others might use exploration and discovery to foster broader, more integrative skills. Next, teaching models provides learning experiences for real behavior outcomes. Teaching models are designed to provide students with experiences that lead to genuine behavioral changes or outcome. This means that the methods and strategies used are aimed at not only imparting knowledge but also developing practical skills and attitudes that students can apply in real world context. These assumptions highlight that teaching models are not one size fits all, rather, they are adaptable framework that cater to various instructional needs and goals. Families of teaching models. Teaching models are organized into four families on the basis of the way they approach educational goals and means. The information processing family. These models focus on how students acquire, process, and store information. They emphasize cognitive processes such as perception, memory, and problem solving. Techniques often include using structured content, break down complex information, and employing strategies to enhance comprehension and retention. The personal family. Models in this category center on individual students' needs, interest, and personal development. They aim to foster self awareness, motivation, and emotional growth. Teaching methods are often tailored to accommodate diverse learning styles and personal goals, emphasizing student autonomy and self directed learning. The social interaction family. This family of models highlights the importance of social context and interactions in learning. It emphasizes collaborative learning, peer interactions, and the social dynamics of the classroom. Techniques include group work, discussions, and activities that build social skills and collective problem solving. The behavioral modification family. Models in this category focus on changing student behavior through reinforcement and punishment. They rely on clear objectives, observable behaviors, and systematic interventions. Techniques often include setting specific behavior goals, providing rewards for desired behaviors, and applying consequence for undesired one. Each family represents a different approach to teaching tailored to specific aspects of the learning process and student needs. Information processing family. This family focuses on intellectual capacity. Primary purpose: mastering the method of inquiry, teaching students how to systematically investigate and explore topics, forming a structured approach to learning and problem solving. Developing the skill for processing information, helping students improve their ability to analyze, interpret, and use information effectively. Fostering the ability to think logically, encouraging students to develop logical reasoning and critical thinking skills. Examples of models: Concept Attainment Model, Jerome S. Bruner. This model helps students learn concepts by identifying and defining them through examples and non examples. It emphasizes the process of distinguishing and categorizing information. Inductive Thinking Model, Hilda Taba, focuses on developing students' ability to make generalizations based on specific observations or data. It encourages inductive reasoning by guiding students to derive broader principles from detailed examples. Enquiry Training Model, J. Richard Suchman, centers on teaching students how to ask questions, investigate problems, and derive conclusions based on evidence. It promotes active learning through inquiry based methods. Next, Advanced Organized Model. David Osbel uses advanced organizers, preliminary information, or frameworks provided before learning new content to help students integrate and understand new information more effectively. Memory Model, Jerry Lucas, focuses on strategies to enhance memory retention and recall, emphasizing techniques such as rehearsal, organization, and meaningful learning to improve long term memory. Biological science inquiry model. This model applies the principle of inquiry based learning specially to biological sciences, guiding students through scientific methods and experimental process relevant to biology. Next, cognitive growth model, Jean Piaget, concentrates on facilitating the development of cognitive structures and processes. It often includes strategies to enhance intellectual abilities and support cognitive development through structured learning activities. Personal family. This deals with the personal development of the individual. The primary goals are to increase the student's sense of self worth, to help students understand themselves more fully, to help students refine their emotions, to foster the students' creativity. Non directive teaching models. Carl Rogers. This approach emphasizes creating a supportive and empathetic learning environment where students are encouraged to explore their own thoughts and feelings. Personal development goals. It helps increase self worth by fostering a sense of acceptance and understanding. Students gain a deeper understanding of themselves and their emotions through self directed exploration. Next, synthetics model. William J. Gordon. This model uses creative problem solving techniques and metaphorical thinking to stimulate innovative ideas and solutions. Personal development goals. It encourages creativity by pushing students to think outside the box and see problems from new perspectives. This model helps refine emotions by making students more aware of their thought process and feelings. Next, conceptual system model, David Hunt. This model focuses on helping students develop a coherent and well integrated system of concepts and ideas. Personal development goals. By understanding and organizing their thoughts and beliefs, students can enhance the self awareness and self worth. It supports emotional refinement by clarifying and structuring their internal experiences. Awareness training model, William C. This model is centered on increasing students' awareness on their own behavior, feelings, and thought processes. Personal development goals. It aids in self understanding and emotional refinement by encouraging reflection and self observation, which can lead to a deeper understanding of one's own motivations and reactions. Classroom teaching models. This generally refers to various teaching strategies used in a classroom setting to facilitate learning and personal growth. Personal development goals. Effective classroom teaching models aim to create an environment that supports the development of self worth, self understanding, emotional refinement, and creativity by using diverse instructional methods and fostering an inclusive and supportive atmosphere. Each of these models contributes to personal development in unique ways, focusing on aspects like self worth, self understanding, emotional refinement, and creativity. Social interaction family. This family emphasizes the relationship of the individual to society. The primary goals are to train, work together, to develop students' skill to maintain human relations, to inculcate personal and social values. Group investigation model, Herbert 10. This model emphasizes collaborative learning where students work together in groups to explore social issues and solve problems. It focuses on developing teamwork skills and understanding societal roles. Role playing. This approach uses role playing to help students practice interpersonal skills and understand different perspectives within social context. It's effective for developing empathy and communication skills. Jurisprudential inquiry model, Donald Oliver. This model encourages students to engage in critical thinking about social and ethical issues by exploring legal principles and societal norms. It aims to develop students' abilities to analyze and discuss complex social topics. Social simulation model. This model involves creating simulations of social systems or scenarios to help students understand social interactions and dynamics. It's useful for practical learning and application of social theories. Social inquiry model. This model focuses on investigating social issues and relationships through research and inquiry. It aims to enhance students' analytical skills and understanding of social phenomena. These models collectively aim to foster skills for effective human relations, teamwork, and personal and social values. Behavior modification model. It emphasizes on changing the observable behavior of the learner. Observable behavior of the learner. The specific goals are to develop competency to adopt behavior styles appropriate to given situations, to learn strategies for self-controls through operant methods, to master techniques for stress reduction, to foster leadership quality. Examples: contingency management model uses reinforcement and punishment to modify behavior, helps individuals develop appropriate behavior by providing rewards or consequences based on their action. Managing behavior model, B.F. Skinner. Similar to the contingency management model, this involves systematically applying reinforcement and punishment, aims to help individuals learn and adopt behavior patterns that are desirable and appropriate for different situations. Stress reduction model, Joseph Olf, uses techniques such as relaxation training and systematic desensitization to reduce stress. Helps individuals manage stress and anxiety by learning techniques to cope with stressors effectively. Next, desensitization model. Gradual exposure to feared stimuli while practicing relaxation techniques aims to reduce the emotional response to anxiety provoking stimuli by gradually desensitizing the individual. Assertive training model teaches individuals to express their thoughts, feelings, and needs in a direct and respectful manner. Helps individuals develop self control, improve communication skills, and build confidence, which can contribute to better stress management and leadership qualities. These models offer various strategies for behavior modification, stress reduction, and personal development.